Welcome back to Waste Some Time with Jason Green. I am Jason Green. It is Wednesday, which means we're live. I'm a little late today. Some of you thought maybe I wasn't going to show up. Isn't that crazy? Well, I'm here. You're here. All my internet friends, my YouTube buddies, thank you for welcoming me on your devices, your television sets, your outdoor projectors, whatever it is that you do. Sorry, I'm preparing a beverage to watch this show. I am happy to be the YouTube guy, and we got a busy little show. We're going to keep it a little bit brief today, but got some exciting guest reveals. We're going to talk about who's coming up on this show. A lot of people are interested in that. And then we are also going to discuss, Johnny and I, we had Johnny Monaco, my co-host at times, if you will, if you're new to this show. We had a celebrity encounter last night. And we also had a bit of an emergency. And so maybe we'll talk about those things and more right after this. Just wanna waste some time with you. Sometimes it seems too good to be true. Nobody got me to waste time with you. All right, I hope everybody's doing good. I hope everybody is enjoying the show. Listen, I'm also happy to see Joe is here with the super chat. That's called a super chat, and feel free to do that. It helps support this channel and get me here every Wednesday. So one of the things I want to mention is, I won't go into too much, but we have a Patreon. And if you sign for Patreon, you can win prizes and you can get all kinds of cool things. Some stuff has not been sent yet. If you're still waiting, there's stuff coming. We're getting there. But I want to make sure that you know, sometimes people who are out of the country are not able to see the videos early because Patrons get to watch my interviews before anybody else. So if you're one of those people, there's going to be a thing called YouTube memberships coming up where people can purchase a membership to watch the videos early and support the channel. So I wanted to make sure that we mentioned that. So let's see. I'm just looking at a little bit of what's going on. Kyle can't wait for this episode, wants to know who are the new guests, and that is a good question. I'd like to know who the next guests are too. Best entertainment I've seen all day and hasn't even started. Well, that's very nice, very kind. Most people are very kind, and I like that everyone's kind of keeping themselves company and talking in the chat amongst themselves. So, okay, well, let's see. Mark is a little concerned with Johnny's car. If you were with me last night at 3 in the morning, you would have been concerned as well. Michael sharing good vibes. Always nice to have good vibes, especially in this day and age. And of course, Michelle says hello, hello. So, yeah, here's Brian. Brian, you're definitely one of those people, and I'm glad that you let us know because we send a link, a private link through YouTube, and yeah, we thought that everyone was able to see the videos, but that wasn't the case. I do appreciate all the Patreon support, but there will be the YouTube memberships very soon, maybe as soon as tonight, and then you can you'll be able to see all the interviews early. So let's not beat around the proverbial bush so long. Let's talk about who's coming up on the show, and then maybe if we have time, we will talk about. Excuse me, I'll have a drink. I can't remember. I'm not gonna lie, I just woke up. All right, so let's start with who's coming up. So, and I was gonna say maybe if we have time, some of you can share who you would like to see on the show. Good one right here, Fred Corey. Let's see, maybe I'll reach out. Let's see. Yeah, and Brian is having the same issue with being overseas. So we will get that fixed. Okay, so first of all, do we have any Hanoi Rocks fans in the audience? I will tell you that when I discovered Hanoi Rocks, the band didn't exist anymore. They would play the Up Around the Bend video on the Headbangers Ball as if it was a new release, and I thought, well, that would be a I thought that would be a good, wow, look at this up and coming hot young band. We didn't have the internet that you kids use, so we uh, we just assumed that they were active, and then found out that their drummer Razzle had died tragically in a drunken driving automobile accident that also paralyzed two young people. A very sad event, and it's been well documented. The driver of that car was Vince Neil from Motley Crue, who was also not really punished for his actions. That's a whole another issue, and a controversial one at that, even this many years later. So, but the band Hanoi Rocks influenced the majority of people that you see on this show. Some of the biggest bands, including Motley Crue, blatantly stole image and ideas and things like that from Hanoi Rocks. Guns N' Roses is a massive fan of Hanoi Rocks and very obviously influenced. The difference is they've been open about that. They talked about the influence that Hanoi Rocks had on them, and actually right now, Michael Monroe and Sammy Alpha of Hanoi Rocks are playing shows with Guns N' Roses. How cool! So anyway, Hanoi Rocks, if you don't know, is one of these influential bands. When I was younger, I thought, oh, it's good, but I didn't think it was amazing. But then I realized that there was no one necessarily doing what they did. The New York Dolls had some of that glam image, but Hanoi Rocks was a different thing and had a very much punk roots. The early Hanoi sounds like punk music, and the bands that they were in before, some of the members, Mele Luna Oi, and some of the bands afterwards are much with Demolition 23 and some of the other ones are very much have a punk sound. So Hanoi Rocks, big influence on so many people, but the members of Hanoi Rocks have been fairly quiet about what they do. Not all of them. Michael Monroe has never stopped touring. He looks the same. The guy doesn't age. He's sort of the glam rock Mick Jagger, if you will. And he's out there with Sammy Alpha, the original Hanoi Rocks. Maybe not the original, but the Hanoi Rocks bass player that everybody knows. And so they're out there touring. And Sammy has appeared on this show twice. They're both great interviews. If you haven't seen them, go back. If you need a refresher on Hanoi Rocks or you want to know what it was like, go back there and check those out. He also, the interview made a lot of press because he outlined the day that Razzle passed. He tells the story in the most honest accounting of it you will hear. He was in the car with Vince Neil and Razzle earlier in the day. The car was, I think, a Pantera or whatever. Maybe I'm just making that up. But anyway, so he outlines that tragic story. And the interviews made some news because it was the most honest accounting. Vince Neil's was not, and neither was the Dirt movie, which is all bullshit, but you kind of probably knew that already. And so I started taking an interest in saying, I'd like to talk to the other guys from Hanoi Rocks. And when I was younger, I always thought Nasty Suicide was the coolest rock and roll name ever. And I said, I wonder what happened to that guy. And back in the day, they said he became a pharmacist. And the story was that you can go into a pharmacy in Finland and you'd see Nasty Suicide, like working behind the counter and, selling, as they call them, tablets out there. So, and that's a little bit of an exaggerated story. He was not necessarily a pharmacist. But for some reason, he continued after Hanoi Rocks with a few bands, Suicide, Twins, Cheap and Nasty, a few others. Michelle probably can tell the other ones. And then he stopped playing music completely and didn't leave Finland and did have a job, a real job. And so I wondered where he was. Well, I tracked him down, and he will be on the show Friday. And he will tell the stories. His stories have never been told. Talk about the Up Around the Bend music video with the infamous zip line. He'll talk about where he was the day Razzle passed away. He'll talk about, is there a chance of us ever seeing a Hanoi Rocks reunion? Let's point out that the original drummer for Hanoi Rocks is a guy named Jip Casino, another amazing name, Jip Casino. I spent some time in a Jip Casino with Johnny last night. Wasn't as much of a Jip as they usually are, but although the restaurant service was terrible. So Nasty Suicide will be here Friday to tell his story. But I've been known to be a musician whisperer of sorts. Sometimes I can get bands back together who they thought never would. LA Guns comes to mind. Phil and Tracy, I put those bozos guys back together. There's a lot of other ones. I've reunited a lot of musicians in my time. Hanoi Rocks is one of the only bands that has not performed. So let's see what I say to Nasty Suicide. Now, if you're a Hanoi Rocks fan, maybe you want more. Maybe that's not enough. We've had Sammy Offa, now we have Nasty Suicide. Well, the following Friday, my guest will be Andy Mccoy. Andy Mccoy is the lead guitar player for Hanoi Rocks, and he is one of the last rock and roll survivors. If you want to know who the last of the punk rock guys are, the real true, maybe had some issues with junk guys, well, you know, your Dee Dee Ramones and your Sid Vicious's and your Sid Vicious, plural, and your Johnny Thunders are all gone. And I will tell you that Andy Mccoy lives quite an interesting life. He's quite a colorful guy. He's like a pirate. He also has not been allowed to come to America in decades, maybe 30 years. He is threatening to come to America in December. We will talk about where he's been, why he hasn't been here, and he is the most difficult member to get to pin down an answer about a reunion. He does give me that answer. So you're going to want to see that. So if you're a fan of Hanoi Rocks, the next 2 Fridays are for you. If you're not a fan of Hanoi Rocks, maybe you should listen now. I promise you it's better than a lot of the bands that are out there claiming to be reunited and using backing tracks and all those things. Anyway, so that's the next 2 Fridays. I will tell you also coming up, Rob Affuso from Skid Row has sent me a message, says I'm on his radar and he's going to get to it. He's been saying this for a while, but I think he's got a lot to say. He's friendly with Sebastian. He's friendly with the other guys. He's right in the middle. What's his side of the Skid Row story? I hope to get that interview done soon. I am also talking with Ronnie Younkins, who is the guitar player for Kix. He has been on a bit of hiatus, and he will be here to talk about why and if he intends on returning. He has not done a lot of interviews, so I'm excited. And we've been talking briefly. He had to postpone, but that is happening. Then also the Golden Robot Records contest. Everyone's wondering what's going on. And I'll be honest, it's my fault. The judges, Tommy Schio of Tesla, he's listened to the music and resistant by it. Johnny Monaco's listened to the music. The president of Golden Robot, Mark Alexander Erber, has listened. Mark Knight from Bang Tango, they've all listened. They're ready. But I have not really listened. I've been incredibly busy. So Indie Cult, I see your questions, and I will get to them. I'm gonna get to all of them. Anyone who super chats, I'm gonna answer that question. And of course, Vito Bratta. Get Vito Bratta. I've spoken to Eddie Trunk about Vito Bratta. He recently did an interview with Guitar Magazine, and for the most part, nothing's changed. And I'm not sure that Vito Bratta really is looking to talk about that. So we named a few of the people who are coming up. There's actually many more in the works, but that's going to take, the guest's going to take you through a month. As far as Golden Robot Records goes, I'm hoping that next Wednesday we'll be ready to make an announcement, and then let you, the audience, pick who you believe is deserving of a record deal. Anyway, there's a few more names that we're going to get to of people who are coming up on this very show. The schedule is, I mean, it's hard to get to everyone. Also, for those of you who are watching my tour diary on right here on YouTube, it's getting overwhelming popular results, closing in on 13,000 views. It's been less than a week. And so I'm thankful. I thank you for watching and enjoying my experience. Well, I did shoot a tour diary for every episode, film, as they say. And so I have that for every city that we've been to, and those are going to come out on a more regular basis. Originally, I was going to put them out once a month, and then demand is more. Not sure we're ready to do it weekly yet because there's a lot of work that goes into it. But you will be seeing a lot of cool things, and you'll see how Johnny Monaco ended up in the band, the actual moment he showed up the night before when we were calling. You'll see some of the members get sick and have to leave or postpone. And I think you're going to enjoy it. And like I said, they get better. One of the problems was on the first episode. I didn't really know these guys. I've known Steven for a long time, but I felt odd sticking my 35 millimeter camera in their face. And so Red Fox episode was great. Thank you. I like the people who enjoy the episodes because there's things on this channel where I visit famous locations. There's a lot more of those. I have so much content. I have content for ages. I just showed Johnny Monaco the general area where Red Fox was buried the other day. He's frightened by cemeteries. Otherwise, I think we would have went in. This is a very good question that Johnny asks. Not the Johnny, a Johnny. He'd like to know, are there any thoughts, any news tonight on Johnny's solo CD? As you guys know, Johnny Monaco, by the way, Johnny has an entire discography of fantastic music he made with Enough's Enough, but solo records as well. He has a record coming out called She Said She Found Her Soulmate. I believe it's going to be ready at any time, perhaps even today. And here he is. Johnny, I don't know if you were watching backstage, but we have a question that someone would like to know. When can we expect your record? She said she found her soulmate. Can't hear me, Johnny? Test.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Acting. I was acting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I keep going over this with you. I'm closer. Closer than ever before. Just.
Are you one step closer to the heart?
I am one step closer to finishing this thing. I've just been really have a lot of stuff. Just never ends. This car, this stuff, shopping, just things to get in the way. But my lease is almost up, so I thought maybe I was going to move out and I would have somewhere I'd be able to focus more. But I don't know. No one said anything to me, so I don't know what to do. But I am on it. I am on it. I gotta go over a couple little things, and I think it's a bunch of good songs. I think it's going to be good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's something for us to look forward to. Obviously, a lot has changed since we last asked Johnny about it. So I'm glad that we're continuing to get your progress reports. I want to mention to some of you who may be in the chat, I've had a lot of questions about Dr. Paul Shortino, who is one of our subscribers and commenters, and he's sort of a featured member on the show. He's very funny, I think. Listen, and it's up to me to decide who's funny because I'm the one pushing the buttons. But I have to say that lest anyone think, Dr. Paul Shortino is a fictitious character. He is a parody. I hate to break people's hearts. So for those of you who are panicking or writing letters to the Paul Shortino, it's all in good fun. This is what they call an internet talk show. Some people call it a podcast. I don't know if it's a podcast. I don't like podcasts. Johnny has a podcast, but I think podcasts like we have to go to anything I got to go to. You never want to go to the second location. So I don't want to go to Vimeo and Spreaker or Spotify. I don't think people like that. And I personally don't like that experience. I like this thing that they call YouTube. And the other thing I like with this YouTube is they pay me for this. The YouTube people pay me. And so that's why I like it here. And I'm happy because, YouTube has a massive audience, bigger than any of these other places. And they let their audience discover my work. And sometimes the cream rises to the top, so to speak, or whatever the saying may be. And so thank goodness for YouTube that we're able to reach so many people. So anyway, Harry K. Cody, that's one I get a lot as well. Johnny, do you know Harry K. Cody?
No.
You know who he is?
No.
I think you might like him. He was a guitar player in a band called Shotgun Messiah.
Mm.
Right. He was a shredding type, and a lot of people think he is good. Anyway, I want to make sure because people take this stuff very serious. Basically, this is a couple jackasses. I should speak for myself, but sitting around the house, just having a little friendly conversation. So anyway, let's talk a little bit about because we can't stay all night. Last week we talked for 3 hours, but sometimes Indie Cult would like to say that he saw the YouTube Enough's Enough footage of Johnny in Japan doing the acoustic show, and your harmonies were amazing. You say thank you, Johnny. When people compliment you like that, you say thank you.
YouTube Japan.
Just say thank you.
Sure. I'd have to hear it.
Oh, well, it's probably on your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Listen, Indie Cult is a supporter of the show. He also would like to know, did you see the current Donnie V tour?
There's a tour?
I don't believe that. Jason, did John C. comment on the current tour with, I don't know who John C. is. Well, I guess maybe I do. On the current tour with Donnie V. I don't think there's any Donnie V tour, but I get it.
John Corabi.
He's talking about John Corabi. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who have not watched my interview with John Corabi, get on it. People are really enjoying that one. I don't think that's a tour. Johnny, do you think they're doing a tour together?
I don't know. I thought they did a couple shows locally in the Midwest. I don't know. I haven't seen anything. Maybe there's a tour. I don't know. Is there a tour?
I don't think so. Maybe look, who am I to rain on their parade? What happened to Johnny Positive? This is as positive as I've seen him. I mean, what do you want? He's here. He's chatting, and he's very busy. He's learning songs. The Stephen Piercy show is adding new material with 2 days' notice. He's brushing up, and so he doesn't. He's tired. And we were out last night. So, what do you think? 3 a.m?
Yeah, 4.
4 a.m. And so, Johnny, let's take the audience through a little bit of our trip yesterday. Johnny, you and I like to go out and have a good bite to eat every now and then. You made a good point, though. We don't ever get dinner. We order a bunch of junk. Like we have appetizers or we have side dishes. Sometimes we go vegan. We have a slice of lemon and a bowl of steam. And so far, it hasn't been very filling. So last night, the Cosmopolitan, the nice people of the Cosmopolitan, they send me these free things, free gambling, free food. So, and they send me free parking. So Johnny and I decided we would go to the Cosmopolitan, our spot. And we walk around and we look at all the different choices. And we went to a place called Holstein's. It's not a Jewish deli. I know it sounds like it, but it's not. And we had some okay food. We had some okay food, but we had some terrible service. Yeah. How would you describe the beard that the that the servant waiter had?
I think he had it velcroed on. It was one of those beards where it just screams dominance. You know, bald head, waddling around, skinny fat, but the beard is the focal point of this mess.
Mm-hmm.
I see it a lot. I think they use it as a way to just, distract you from everything else that's going on.
Yeah, this big bald head, and then this big black beard. Was it black?
Yeah.
This is a white gentleman. Not that that should matter, but this bushy beard that comes out of nowhere. If you can't have hair on your head, I'm not sure you need hair on your face.
It's
what are you
horrible look? Yeah. It's a look now, though. That's a thing. They took two of the worst things together, and they took two of the worst looks and put them together.
Yeah. What is wrong with Jason Holstein is here. I believe he is a partner in the business. The egg rolls were fantastic. But so this guy looked like a jackass. But listen, we gave him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he was a tremendous server. He was not.
No,
he was not. Everything was slow. And then he delegated, right, Johnny?
Yeah, they go back and they tell the other people what we asked them to do. Like, can I get some sweet and low for the fourth time?
Splenda, yeah.
And then they go back and they tell someone else to bring it, and then they bring it. It's like a subservient, like there's a hierarchy, like being in some bands that I've been in. There's a hierarchy. Like, I will not bring you this sweetener, but someone else will bring it, and then I'll come by and go, "Did you get that sweetener?" It's like, well, if you would have brought it, you would have known if I got it.
Extra steps. They add extra steps. You describe that well. I like to drink unsweetened iced tea, and then I put in some of that cancer-causing Splenda, allegedly. And so all the guy has to do is pick it up. I couldn't find where it is, or I would have went back and got it myself. But I asked the guy, as Johnny said, probably 4 times. On the last time, the other guy, the bus boy, Manuel, is passing by with him, and then he's like, "Oh boy, Splenda," when he could have just picked it up himself, but he puts on this big scene, and it was ridiculous. And then they give you these glasses. You drink an iced tea, and they give you this like a thimble of iced tea, which with mostly ice. And every time he went by, I'm trying to shine my glass and show him that it's empty, try to reflect it onto his fat, bald head. But Johnny got his attention finally. Johnny, how did you get his attention?
I screamed, "Hey," across the restaurant.
Yes. Yeah. And but he was so dumb that barely worked. He was slightly startled, and
as was everybody. But I was just getting to the point where I was getting mad about it, because he walked by the table several times. You didn't say anything because you were just like trying to see if he would notice by holding the glass up and getting his attention. Mm-hmm. And he walked past several times and make eye contact. They want tips. I'm not saying you got to work extremely hard. Just do the basics.
Yeah, I think that's some funny stuff.
And I'm not making fun of bald people. I mean, because people are getting really uppity in here. But it's like, if you can't grow hair or you're bald, that's fine. Make it work for you.
Follically challenged.
It's the shaven thing, but then they grow this to make it look like, a thing. They grow this dominant beard that makes it look like you're going to part the Red Sea, and that you have control over others. It's a dominant thing, right? So, what else could it be? I mean, there's no other reason to have that kind of a beard.
Yeah, he looked like he would have been on like the old Popeye cartoons or something, working on the docks. Not a handsome
building a bomb. But so I just the combination of the two, to me, is off-putting. But I know that that's a common thing now, and people seem to like it. They'll wear shoes without socks. They'll got a little bit of a flood, tight, fuchsia pants, tucked in shirts, barely tucked in. Buttons are popping out everywhere with a belt, and the head's shaven, and the beard comes out very pronounced. and they give you a look like, you know, I'm a baller, and you know, I'm in a position of power with whatever this is and whatever petri dish is living in it.
Well, yeah, that's for sure. And it's not like he's in that six-finger death punch or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like maybe if he was in something like that, it would be one thing.
Equally horrible.
A lot of people in the chat want to hear our opinions on Kane Roberts and Nita Strauss. We'll try to do that. I'm not really allowed to talk too much about that, but we can do a little bit. And then I want to stick to the story, but I really quickly want to say, Johnny, first of all, how is the record She Said She Found Her Soulmate coming? Because Indy's asking.
Yeah, I had some computer issues that I'm still having because the guy who said that, I asked him, I'm like, hey, something's going on with my computer. You think you could fix it? It's kind of an older, you know, MacBook laptop. And he said, if you bring it to me in pieces with string I put together. I'm like, oh, good answer.
How long did it take?
It's been on almost 2 months now, and it's still not where it should be. He had to put a new motherboard in, but now 2 of the ports don't work, and there's 3 screws missing from the bottom, most likely in his beard. So
maybe try a fatherboard.
I asked him if he would, you know, fix it, and he's like, no problem. Yes, sorry. And then the next day he said, I'm not feeling well. I have symptoms. So
big C.
I immediately, before I even answered, I sterilized my computer. And I said, okay, well, when you're feeling better, let me know so we can fix this computer so I can get back to doing what I'm doing. So right now I can't plug everything in without the computer having an issue. I don't have enough ports. I'm not making excuses. I'm saying that's that. Most of it's
any chance of your record coming out on vinyl? The people would like to know.
I know that's a big thing now on vinyl.
Huge.
I don't know. I don't know that that's really necessary. I think people do that a lot. I mean, it's good to have some kind of something to have, you know, and looks cool and everything. But I think a lot of people that put them out do it for themselves. Like it's very self-indulgent. Like, you know, you're buying my album with me on it, Bigger Than Life, and it's me on there. And there's no point in having a record anymore, unless you're an audiophile and you have albums all over the place and you have a turntable. I don't do that. I'm not saying
I didn't think you were a pedophile. No.
Audiophile, although I've been called a pervert 3 times this week, so I don't understand what I'm doing.
Johnny, I kind of agree with you on the people who are a little pretentious, but I can tell you that there are people, and they're younger people, who love vinyl. They do like the warm sound. They do have the old Victrola out, and also people like to collect physical items. An actual record looks nicer, and they're good to get signed, and then they usually come with a download themselves. I have a nice collection of autographed vinyl. I have all the original Ramones albums autographed on vinyl, but I don't really get it. But people do. I think, Johnny, if it's something to consider. And also, if Johnny should come upon a label, most of the labels do include vinyl nowadays. So a hard question to answer. Listen, I think also it depends on the demand. If enough of people are saying that is how they want it. Now Mark Sanchez has a really interesting situation. He went to johnnymonaco.com, which is a fabulous website if you haven't visited. And he paid for a CD, but he paid someone, we don't know who it is. Some woman accidentally got the 20-something or whatever it cost money, and now she's ghosting him. She stole this man's money. Now Johnny's going to make it up to you, I'm sure. And
is she really doing that? She took the money and she's not replying. Stop payment. Call the bank. Do something.
It's through PayPal, so you can fight that. And
I looked her up. I looked the person up.
Did you use a private investigator? I have one of those.
I could do it myself. I've watched enough episodes of Canon. I looked it up, and it's a professional woman who's in LA. I don't know how it got sent to her or why. I went through all my links one more time. I checked everything. There was a couple of errors, but most of them were directed back to my PayPal page. So I don't know how it got to her. I was going to reach out to her, but I mean, I didn't.
We'll have to pay her a visit. Maybe wring her neck.
Payment already went through. Well, all you need to do then, you can get it back, right? Yeah. Just let them know you've been scammed and then get your money back. Because
Tell them that you were scammed by a Johnny Monaco impersonator. They'll understand.
I want to call her at the office and she'll probably pick up the phone. Maybe she doesn't know. Maybe someone's using a fake, maybe someone's doing this and funneling the money through this fake account. Maybe she has no idea. I don't know. I don't even understand how that happened. But I went through it now and it should be fine. You know, I'm the only one selling these, unless it was a distributor, but I don't think it was, and there'd be no reason for a distributor to have a link off of my personal page.
Yes. All right. So after dinner, we had a few bucks in the free play, which is nice because I'm not a rich man, and neither is Johnny Monaco. So we went and gambled a little bit, and you know what? We had a fun night. I like to play these games now. They have these games that have a two-seater. Two people can sit together, which is nice because then you keep strangers who are smoking and coughing in your face. So we sat next to each other like and then Johnny likes to have an adult beverage every now and then, and it's free. So Johnny wanted a Mai Tai, and he keeps his pinky out when he drinks it. But the first time they brought it to, it seemed like maybe it was a Mai Tai, right?
Yeah, it had the right colors and stuff.
The next one of 50 was like a lemon drop or something, right?
It was strange. It wasn't bad, but it didn't taste like the first one. And that's Las Vegas, really, in a nutshell.
Yeah. So we were going from machine to machine. I like these licensed games where you can have some fun. So we played this Madonna game, and we listened to Madonna music, and the seat vibrates your butt while you're playing. Every time you spin, something happens. You get a little bit of a prostate massage, right?
Yeah, she's got a lot of hits. I forgot how many good songs there are.
And they were, it was fun to listen to, especially the older ones. And so that was a successful moment. And then we went over and we played the Christmas Vacation game, and that was a successful moment also. You have to light up a house with Christmas lights, and if you do it in the first guess, you hit the jackpot. Johnny did it. And then after that, then we were going to go play my favorite, the Universal Monsters game, but we saw some activity. Johnny tells me, "Hey, listen, we like to look at people and have fun. And sometimes we say, look, there goes someone who looks like this one, or there's someone who looks like that one." And so Johnny said, "Look, there's Todd Kearns," and he laughed to himself. And then I
was kidding.
You were kidding, and I could barely see. Thank God for Spectacle Eyewear, by the way. Johnny's wearing Spectacle Eyewear right now. They are sending me some glasses, and they were nice enough to come up with something for the show. So if anyone here needs eyewear and you want to wear them like Johnny and I'm going to have a deep discount for you guys from the good people at Spectacle Eyewear. So that's a side note. So I can't see. That's the problem. And I'm looking over, and then I go, "Is it really him?" I was excited. And Johnny said, "No, that's a woman." And I said, "Oh." And then I'm looking and I go, "Well, it looks a little short for Todd Kearns." For those of you who don't know what a Todd Kearns is, I created and managed a band called Sin City Sinners from 2007 until present. It's still my thing. And I'm looking to put together a variant lineup that you may see, because variants are very big in the news today. So I thought, well, he looked short because he was with this sort of Amazonian tall woman, very tall woman. And then I realized, well, Todd Kearns' wife is very tall and wears high heels on top of that. And then I looked down, and he had those creepers on, those creepers that you creep around in, and they were pink, right? They were pink, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't see colors very well. And
You
then
look great.
Look fantastic. Look
Very,
skinny.
very thin, very, very fit, very
model-like.
Canadian.
And so then I looked up and I saw the denim jacket and the black hair. And then I saw the little chain that you wear to your wallet. He likes to have like his 1-800-Flowers card and his PetSmart card and the Bed Bath & Beyond and Pottery Barn. He always did that. He used to do it on stage sometimes. I go, wow, that's so bizarre that he'd have all that on his chain. Zia Records, things like that, Spectacle Eyewear. So so it was him. It was the Todd Kearns, the one and only, the pride of Canada. He's from Regina, Regina, Canada, and then went to Vancouver. He does go by the name Todd Kearns. And so anyway, I used to manage him. So Johnny and I were going to go over and say hello because I also used to manage a thing called Faster Pussycat. It was what they argue is called fake Faster Pussycat. And it was my old friend Brent Muscat and Eric Stacy decided that they would put back their version of Faster Pussycat, and they were going to go to Europe with it. I did not go. I didn't want to be stuck with those numbskulls. And speaking of numbskulls, Enough's Enough was also on that bill, featuring Johnny Monaco. So Johnny and Todd have known each other for quite some time as well. So Johnny said to me, do you get along with him? And I wasn't sure I do. And so we refrained from saying hello, but we were mature and we did take pictures of ourselves with them in the background. And then they said goodnight. Oh, but don't know. Then Johnny goes, well, that's Miles Kennedy that he's talking to. And I said, are you sure? And Miles Kennedy looks like a kind of normal guy. I don't know. And so Johnny goes, of course that's him. And then I'm thinking, what are these guys doing in the Cosmopolitan of all places? What a small world. So they said goodnight, and Miles Kennedy came in our direction, and we in your direction, yeah. And then I took a picture with Miles Kennedy to Johnny took the picture of Miles and Kennedy and I to document this silly night. And then from there we chuckled, and for those who don't know, Miles Kennedy is the lead singer for the band Alter Bridge. I believe they're on tour now, I think. And Johnny, do you know who Alter Bridge is?
Sort of.
Yeah, it's Creed. Alter Bridge is Creed without Scott Stapp and with Miles Kennedy.
Well, I know him from Slash.
Well, he is also in Slash, and let me get this exactly right. Slash featuring Miles Kennedy and featuring the Conspirators, featuring the Busboys, featuring the artist formerly known as Buckethead. I can't remember. It's a very long name.
I just felt very underdressed after I saw them.
Well,
I think he thought I worked there.
Mm-hmm. Some people liked him, but listen, the guy was very nice, by the way.
Very nice. Very, very fit. Very nice. You took a photo. It was weird. And then he said, thanks, and walked away. And, he didn't do anything wrong. He was fine. I
think he has an idea of this show, or he has seen the webisodes. You guys have never seen the Sin City Sinner webisodes that I filmed. We made a series about Todd joining Slash's band and what are we going to do? And we were searching for another singer, and we made all these sort of Slash gags. And I know that they had all seen that. And this is a long time ago. Listen, the guy, I've seen questions I want to get to, but I got to stick to one thing at a time. Anyway, yeah, so it was nice. And then after that moment, we went over to the Universal Monsters game, and that was a success as well. Don't let that stop you from super chatting. It wasn't that big a success. I got stuff in Hawk. You know what I mean? It's like shit ain't easy.
I actually got a bill for the night.
Well, the night wasn't over. And
That's
so
right. Oh no, it was not over.
now Johnny texted Todd Kearns though to let him know how he felt about the interaction. What did you say?
Did I say? When I got home, or while we were still there, I was a little drunk. Not terribly drunk, but
My time.
yeah, or whatever that was. I said I took a picture of them as they were talking, and we were in the cheap seats. And I said I was going to say hello, but you look so disappointed when I waved.
Did he respond?
Well, he responded today.
Yeah.
And he said, dude, I'm blind. Did you wave? Would have loved to said hello. Hi, I'm so sorry. So again, a very nice person. Me, I don't know. I was kind of making a joke. But they were engaged with their wives, and they were.
I think they're married. I don't think it's engaged. I think they're married.
Well, I mean, they were engaged in conversation.
I see.
And they were having some kind of, thing. And, I walk up on anybody and immediately they're kind of like, who's this? So and then you, public enemy number one. So you figured, just let them, and maybe if they would have walked our way, but I want to like run across the casino. So
Right.
it was fine. We'll see him at another casino.
Yes, absolutely. So we had a good time. We were laughing and hanging out. We like to walk. I'll tell you, one of the things I like about Johnny is you may think he's a little neurotic or quirky, or the other words that people use, pervert. But he's up to have a good time like me. See where the night we walked around. We had fun. We like to look at the prostitutes. Things like that you do here in Las Vegas on the Strip. So finally, somewhere around 3 a.m, we decided it was time to call it a night. We had plans today to go to the post office and mail all your stuff, folks. You're gonna have to wait because it was a rough night. So we get down to the parking lot, and Johnny did get what I would consider a VIP spot right in the front entrance of the Cosmopolitan. It's underground, the entrance, and it's very, very warm down there.
Ugh.
But so, Johnny, what happened when we got to the car?
I had a flat tire.
Yeah,
It's just never an car.
passenger side front tire on the right. Yeah, which was passenger.
Yeah, right on, all the way flat, down to the wheel.
Yeah. And so I asked Johnny if he had any donuts, and to which he said, of course. And then I realized he did not have anything to eat, but he did have a spare tire, which is called a donut. And Johnny, you jumped into action. The parking spot though was in this like a tomb, and you had a hard time working. You also had a lot of things in your car that you had to unpack. Thankfully, Charlotte, your companion, was not with us. Charlotte is a mannequin that is in the back of Johnny's car. Was not there for the night. So, Johnny, you're unloading your barber bag, and you had a lighting setup. A key. You had a key light. All kinds of interesting things. And so you were getting it out, and there's a lot of work that goes into this. I don't drive. I never have. But I have been with people who have had flat tires most of the time. Actually, if you watch the tour diary, my life partner, Michelle, she gets a flat tire outside of the whiskey. It's her. She hit this turn. Johnny hit the same turn, but he didn't get a flat tire. But anyway, I've watched a lot of people call AAA. But Johnny doesn't need that stinking AAA. He swung into action and started getting to work. Now, listen, I'm not trying to suggest that maybe Todd Kearns flattened his tire. I'm not. I don't want to put that out there. But Johnny does have a vanity plate, and
Right.
so it is obvious which car belongs to Johnny Monaco. In the back window of Johnny's car, he also has a QR code that says tip here. So if you wanted to go to the back of Johnny's car, you can scan the QR code and you can tip him. So I'm not saying that I don't think that Todd would do such a thing. He had such a nice outfit on. I don't see him getting down and
Yeah, it's
and slashing
very
tires.
dirty down there.
Slashing being the joke. Uh, so it was filthy. But Johnny sprung into action, and I did as well. I got out the camera and started filming. Um,
Yeah,
I wanted to help.
I had to like Google how to take the jack out, so I'm not really that handy. I mean, more than some people. I know people that wouldn't know how to change a tire, and you know, are still have lots of money. Should have just called AAA, but I mean, yeah, we just pulled the jack out, pulled the donut out. It was hard getting the tire off. They give you these jack with these little tools. It's not like back in the day, the real jacks. These are like,
Yeah, back in the days when a jack was a jack.
yeah, and you get a actual, tire iron. It's in there, but they're like this big, and one's like a skinny little pole, and you put it in there, and you're supposed to kept dropping it. So bad. There was grease everywhere.
One point, Johnny asked me to hold this thing in place while he was going to jump up and stomp on it. I passed. I thought it was a dangerous option. The last time that I passed this much is when he tried to give me a bag of spaghetti sauce to taste. I could just see something going wrong, splintering or falling off, and breaking my hand. And why would I want that? But Johnny did manage to get this tire off. It's probably been on the car since you purchased that car. I think, I'm not positive, but that's a 1973 Chrysler, I think.
That's a Hyundai from 2002, and I have taken that tire, all of them, off at one point. So, I mean,
Just for fun?
I ran over a screw. We saw it. There was a screw in the tire with the head sticking out. So and probably when I had my work done at my mechanic, because there's no screws around here except my neighbors. So they probably ran over something. It got in there, took that off, put on the donut, which was also flat.
That's right. The donut was flat. Now, you don't think that Miles Kennedy carries a screw around with him looking for misadventure?
No, you got to really, that was really put in there. You'd have to run over it. Yeah, I don't think you could tap it. So so I put the donut on, and we realized it was down to the metal. Like when all the weight got on the tire, it was on the the wheel. So now what do we do? And some guy drove by, and he asked if we needed help, but I thought he was going to rob us. So
Well, he said he did say, "You crackers need any help?" Like something like that. And he was blasting music, and the car was lifting, and did not look right.
It was sketchy, yeah. And so yeah, we got that, and then it was time to put everything back in the trunk and drive you home.
Let's not forget the bachelor parties that were going by as well. Ladies yelling out their cars at you and hooting and hollering, and they were treating Johnny like a piece of meat. I should point out at this point, Johnny took off his shirt, and he
1,000 degrees.
Yeah, and he had grease on him, and the women were throwing money and hollering, and I filmed the people passing by that. No security or anyone else really cared. So we get in the car, and Johnny had a flat donut to drive on. So we had to go, I would say, approximately 2 to 3 miles, right?
Yeah, it was sketchy. I mean, we had to get out of there, and then you got to go up a couple hills, and there's speed bumps, and you get to the top of the Cosmopolitan where the ground is kind of like veneer or something, and then you get out onto the street, and everyone's like right on me, and they're like, come on, and I got my blinkers on.
This is Las Vegas Boulevard he's speaking about, the Strip.
Yeah, you would think they'd put a gas station closer. And then we had to get out there, and then we had to drive down Harmon and cross over Las Vegas Boulevard with my hazards on, like this. I'm driving like this, and you're talking to me. So goofy, driving around like that with grease all over me. I'm sweating, not knowing if the tire's going to even work. And then we just drove for a while. There was no gas stations. And then we made a turn and then got onto Trop, and then
yeah, we got the Trop. We took
started,
Harmon, the Tropicana.
yeah, right into action, and then we're just on our way towards where you live, and there's a 24-hour tire place there.
I knew about this place. I've been there several times with many friends. It is actually a very legendary place here in Las Vegas. It's called La Rantera, and it is a 24-hour tire place. They're starting to call it Tropicana Tire now. I think they're trying to go easier so that white people would be less intimidated. My ex Megan and I went there. She totally destroyed the treads, and we were driving, and we went in there, and they don't speak much English. And so and then my other friend Greg, he'd been there tons of times. He's had screws in his tires so many times. I mean, I don't know if he used to drive past screw factories, but it's very common here in Vegas. So I knew this was the spot, and I also knew it was on the way to my home. So I said, we got to go to this place, and we'll go in. And it's a little scary at night in that place. Some of the people who were working. The guy who backed you in, I called him Gums. He was a bit of a character, and then there were a few other. Anyway, you go into this place where it was 20,000 degrees. They had no air, and then Johnny decided to negotiate with the fine gentleman.
Well, I just wanted him to fix it, but he looked at it and he was really upset with me.
Really upset.
He's basically saying this tire is not worth fixing in so many words. It's like, I think that's what he was saying. Yeah. So, I'm like, all right, well then how much is this? How much is that? So that place, I think their thing there is buying used tires. And I don't really buy used tires. I don't think I ever have, but in this case, it made sense because it was 4 a.m. I'm not going to buy new tires there, and I needed to do something.
Well, we had to, and he said "Pneumatico que no vale la pena arreglar." That is exactly what he said. "Pneumatico que no vale la pena arreglar." And for my English-speaking friends, that means the tire is not worth fixing.
Yeah, well, I didn't understand any of that, so I just I said, "Okay."
I translated, and I would have helped, but I was very, very busy filming it all.
Yeah. So I just didn't know what he was saying. And then he said, you can try going down the street if you want to get a better deal. I'm like, do that. So I just did what he said, and we got
3 a.m. As well. And so what are you going to do? Where are you going to compare? Where are you going to comparison shop?
Used tires used to be like 25, 30 tops. This one was like, what, $40 or something? But, they sell new tires there.
He did, and Johnny did seem confused, but he did say, ir por la calle para una mejor día, which for our English-speaking friends means you go down the street for a better deal. Of course, there was nowhere to go, and Johnny had to deal. Johnny, I think maybe you didn't understand the price he quoted, because I think we thought it was more than what it. Because they have these signs all over the place. It was $50.
That's fine. I mean, that car is. I don't want to put new tires on it because I never know when it's going to be the end of that car.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to do something, and also I'm not going to buy new tires there at 4 a.m.
Right.
So it was either
you just happened to have 50 on you, and so you gave him the 50 dinero, and we tipped him too. DA or something like that. I probably shouldn't say how much we tipped.
Yeah, he was fine. At first, I didn't think he liked me, but then after we tipped him, he was fine. And then we
got nicer.
Yeah, he got a little nicer. And then we used the air to fill my donut hole. To put it back, because I think after a while that thing's been sitting in there. I probably used it once. I think I drove on a donut once for a while, and then I probably just put it back and didn't check because it doesn't happen often, So yeah, now that's all ready to go. I think I'm gonna go out there, and I haven't looked at it yet. Hopefully it holds air and everything's fine because there's no warranties or refunds or anything when you buy a used tire.
Yeah. No, that's he did put it in the water for you, you know, and make sure that it floats.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see here.
Yeah.
But yeah, he did say "cien reembolsos," which means no refunds. And there's all this nonsense. Hold
I
on,
mean,
I'm
it
just
was fine. It was fine. You know, now it's only, I mean, the two back tires are almost new because I had to buy them a while, not too long ago. The two front ones are the ones that needed to be changed eventually. So now I'm only got one bad one. It's the least of my problems with that car. But
yeah.
it was
Well,
just,
anyway, all's well that ends well. He said, "Buenas noches, muchacho y gringos," and we got in the car and we left. So far, so good. We'll be out of time. We'll be out of town, so you're not going to be doing much driving now.
right.
Groovy Caps would like to know. Let me see if I can read this correctly. Did you guys already played in Illinois?
No.
We did not already play it in Illinois. No, it's
That's in
coming up.
September.
Yeah, I think it's August.
I think it's September.
You sure?
Yeah.
Listen, if you guys want to know, and Johnny's probably right. He knows his big homecoming to Illinois. This is a big one. And Scott Coogan, the drummer for the Stephen Pearcy band, he is also from Illinois. So they know you probably have to either go. First of all, you can ask the tour manager, or you can go to officialstephenpearcy.com.
Wow.
Check out the date, and you will see. And he is, and Johnny is correct. It's September 10th in Des Plaines, Illinois. Des Plaines, Illinois. That's how you say it, right?
Well, yeah, you could say it like that, or you could just say Displains.
Right, if you like. And so, yeah. So if you want to see the Stephen Pearcy band, that'd be great. Coming up, we have shows with this weekend, the night before. This is a strange trip. We're kind of in and out of Ohio. This is not really a hangout. In and out. From the airport to the venue, back out. This is a quick one. But the Wingers playing the night before with the Bullet Boy. And then 2 weeks later, we'll be in Kentucky with Kicks and Quiet Riot. I think they're mad at me, but it's all right. And then the Bullet Boy. Bullet Boy will be there as well. And hold on. Tris, thank you so much for the support. Appreciate everyone who supports the channel. If you'd like to continue to support the channel, it would be nice to, you can go and sign up for Patreon, all those things. Okay, so we're going to wrap this up really soon, but a lot of people asking the news about Nita Strauss leaving Alice Cooper. I don't think it's the biggest news story, but on here, the world is shaking. So I will tell you that I managed Nita Strauss. Not a lot of people know that, but I did, and there's not much I can talk about that for a lot of reasons. But anyway, Nita Strauss played with Alice. They wanted to have a female guitar player to replace Orianthi, and Nita Strauss left for what some view as greener pastures. And so she abruptly left, and Alice had to add a guitar player. As we know, it is Kane Roberts. And Kane Roberts has told me about 20 times he was coming on the show and then would say next week, next week. On my episode with Ken Mary, who was the drummer for Alice Cooper, the Raise Your Fist and Yell era, I believe, maybe even Constrictor, Kane Roberts called in. So anyway, he is the guitar player. I think it's a good choice. I'm glad they did not try to go to another female guitar player. Not that there aren't female guitar players who are talented, but I felt like it might have been gimmicky to just keep making that the girl spot. I know that Johnny Monaco was considered, but it didn't. It wasn't meant to be. They needed someone, obviously, who knows the owl set fast, and Kane Roberts was the guy. It has been all over the news. I get my news from Metal Sludge and Stevie Rochelle most of the time, but I don't know if he's run this particular. He's run the Kane Roberts. I think he broke the Kane Roberts story before anyone. But so the band that Nita Strauss allegedly has left for is I believe it's a Swedish heavy metal band called Demi Lovato. I think is that a metal band?
It sounds like a Finnish metal band.
Finnish, yeah. Finnish is actually where it's at, like Hanoi Rocks, who you can catch on the show the next 2 Fridays. This Friday, Nasty Suicide. Next Friday, Andy McCoy. Michael Monroe's on the way. Trust me, we are going to get a reunion. But yeah, Demi Lovato. I've been told that the band Demi Lovato has struggled in the past with issues, nothing to joke about. So here's the question. Alice Cooper is 74 years old.
Young,
you're right. He's still great, and he doesn't look like he's slowing down. So will he? How much longer could he play? Also, Nita, it was an employee. Obviously, the brand is Alice Cooper, so she was on a salary. So when this Demi Lovato comes around, they obviously made her a good offer, and it's a great time to be a female guitar player. A lot of bands want that. We're in an era now where, or female bass player, by the way, as you've noticed. Whitesnake has one of those, right? Jeff Beck has had a female bass player forever. She's incredible. You know who I'm talking about, Johnny?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think her name's Ty. Is that right?
Yeah, young girl. She's really good.
Really good, outstanding. And
really good. Yeah, she's great.
And I don't think that someone like that is a gimmick in any way. I mean,
no.
She can plug. But there's a lot of demand for players, and I guess this. So the question is, and I don't know if Demi Lovato can play the biggest places anymore. Maybe she goes out with other bands. I don't know. Obviously, I'm told that it's a younger person. But so it's a tricky thing. Alice Cooper, Demi Lovato. I don't know. You folks in the audience could talk. I'm hoping that Kane Roberts is actively getting back on steroids, and he's hanging and banging. And I'm hoping that he gets the machine gun guitar ready. I think it'd be tricky to go through the airports now with that machine gun guitar. But this is America, and I believe in the Constitution. So if you want to carry a machine gun guitar, that's your God-given right. God bless America. So that's kind of the answer to that. And as you know, Kane Roberts was in that era of Alice Cooper. Raise Your Fist to the El Constrictor. Great band at the time. Kip Winger on bass, Paul Taylor from Winger on keyboards, Ken Mary on drums. There was someone else as well, and Kane Roberts on lead guitar. I don't think that they really needed another guitar player, even though I'm glad Kane Roberts is back. I like a little nostalgia, a little history, and so I think it's good. But Alice Cooper has 3 guitar players. Nobody, unless you're Leatherwolf, the Triple Axe Attack, you should, or Lynyrd Skynyrd, you don't need 3 guitar players. Am I right, Johnny?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's at this point more of a show, and he wants to look a certain way and have a lot of members, on stage. I think it's like a cast almost.
Yeah, I think that's a fair way to say it. So that's our take. I didn't really let Johnny say too much, but I'm not sure Johnny had much to offer, unless you want to jump in on this one.
I don't know much about it. I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about the history. I just remember the machine gun guitar and the pipes.
Yeah, and the man behind the mask, the Friday the 13th video. So anyway, so that's what's going on in for the most part. I think we covered a lot of ground today. Coming up on the show, uh, Nasty Suicide from Hanoi Rocks, Andy McCoy from Hanoi Rocks, Ronnie Younkins from Kicks, and then there was a bunch of others that are on the way. Some are too early to say. I feel like I have early onset dementia. I think it's coming. For some reason, Do you think the Stephen Pearcy band needs a female guitar player or bass player or drummer? Besides yourself.
I think I'm close enough. Everyone keeps calling me a pervert.
Yeah, I wonder why that is.
Mm-hmm.
Are you wearing pants today?
Yeah, today I am. It was a big ordeal last time.
Yeah, a lot of controversy.
Yeah, it's like if I'm sitting here and I have a long shirt, maybe if I get up and come back, but I'm in my place and it's like 1,000 degrees in here. Even with the air conditioning on, it's still hot. So it's, man on the beach, sitting here, and it's like wearing shorts if you're from France. So
I only read. I have people who screen my messages for me, so I don't read many. But I apologize to anyone I haven't gotten back to. I do my best. I'm only as God made me. But there were some screenshots of your testicular region. Some people believe that they saw your balls.
That's not true.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I did examine it like the Zapruder film, and maybe we saw the outline of a ball, but I don't think
you can walk through the mall and see that kind of stuff. Girls wear extremely tight leggings. You can see their anatomy, the labia, the tubes,
the minora and majora,
butthole. But it's like, that I'm not even doing that. I was just comfortable sitting here, and everyone made a big deal out of it. So from now on, I'm just gonna, just make sure everything is normal.
Yeah. But I understand what you're saying. People are ridiculous. Let me I wanted to get to some of these people's comments because I saw some interesting ones. Triss, especially, and Triss is very kind. Please post some of your tunes, please, just one maybe. So I want to make sure that you know this, and Johnny could tell you more, but Johnny does have a sort of highlight reel of the new album. She said she found her soulmate on YouTube, and you get a little bit of several of the songs, and I think that's a great way to get exposed to it, and then listen to some of his other music as well, because unless you're a Johnny Monaco completist, maybe you haven't heard some of the other stuff, and you should start listening to it now to get ready for the new album. I will be honest, I'm even a little behind on Johnny's music, and I got to catch up because there's really good stuff and a variety of different things. I don't just say that because he's sitting next to me, right there, actually. So anyway, yeah. So if you want to hear his music, right, Johnny? Did I sum that up?
Yeah, I put that out a while ago because I thought I was going to have it out like shortly after that. So I just did a bunch of clips because I wanted to get something out just so they can hear it, and then everything happened, and I had to move like 3 times, and it's just been a nightmare.
Yeah, but it's coming. I mean, look, the songs are there, and the outlines are there, and it's coming. You need a little mixing, a little mastering, and it'll be there. So unless anyone else has something that's incredible and just can't wait to add, I'm going to have my dinner, watch the rest of the Yankee game, and rest up. We're seeing Johnny, soon enough in the next couple of days.
Yeah, we got to get up really early. I got a bunch of stuff still I have to do, and I have to learn the song, and I got to get the pedal board together. It's almost there.
Are you packed at all?
No.
Me neither.
I mean, I wanted to be packed by now, but I couldn't put it all together yet because I have this new pedal board I put together, and I was waiting for all the elements to be here. So, and I just now am getting it together with everything because it took time to get all the parts, and but it should be good. I think it's all going to fit really good. A real nice guy sent me the wood,
Let me just deal with this. Hold on 1 second. Let me just deal with this real quick. Tony is a fan of the Baltimore Orioles, who are at least 20 games out right now. The Yankees have the best record in baseball. Can't beat the Reds, whatever. They had one little silly game. Best record, best team. And so you got to be a fan of a better team than the Orioles if you're going to try that argument, Tony. But it's okay. I understand. Baseball makes people passionate. Hold on. Johnny's talking about his wood. He was having trouble getting wood.
Go.
Well, anyway, if you watched last week's show where Johnny may or may not have been showing his stuff, he had trouble getting wood. I suggested a blue pill, but what I found out is he meant something to put his pedals on. And so his pedals, I'll be honest, a lot of you people are really, really great and supportive. Spectacle Eyewear sending us glasses. Otherwise, I'd be walking around blind. I'd be, is that Todd Kearns? No, it's not Todd Kearns. That's, a Sade. I mix people up. So Miles Kennedy, that's Margot Kidder. So luckily now we have glasses.
I need a day-to-day pair. These are I like them, but I need like a regular pair too.
Well, tell Spectacle. He knows how. That guy's
I don't want
great.
to ask for too much. He's nice enough. But I really do need to do that because I can't. I need multiple pairs.
Well, someone knew that you were in need of wood and wanted to assist. Somebody wanted to help you to achieve wood.
That's right. I have his name is Eric Hensley.
Oh, Eric's in the chat. I didn't know Eric was the one who helped you get the wood.
Our Eric, and I believe he's watches the show.
Yeah, he's here.
Nice guy, really stepped up. Because I went to 3 different places dealing with these idiots, and I got nowhere. And this guy's like, I got the piece for you. I know what you need. Let me just send it to you. And it was nice that he even did that. Really nice.
That's great.
I'm going to send him the CD. So it's like, he had it, he cut it and everything and packaged it right. He packaged everything right and shipped it here in a nice square package. And he sent me 2 options. And I'll tell you what, the first option really is good. Perfect cut. And I sanded it.
So it is cut, the wood. It's not an uncut wood.
That's right. It's been trimmed. And I sprayed it with Plastidip, which is like a rubber coating. And then I had to let it dry. And then I had to sand it again.
Is that like a lubricant?
No. And it's right back there. You can't really see it yet, and I had to put all the parts together and measure everything and Velcro things. So it's almost there. It's getting close. So it's gonna work because it's gonna go in the bag that I got that goes under the seat in front of me because that was the whole reason to do this.
I wish I needed some wood, but I don't. But Johnny, people love to reach out, and it's great. I think it is so great that people here.
It was very nice. It was very nice that he did that because I really needed it. I really needed wood.
Yeah, well, of course. And you have a big trip coming out. You're going to be out on the town, possibly. There's a lot of people who are expecting to see wood. And now, thankfully, it's been achieved. So that is a good news on the wood front. Let's see. I'm trying to get to everybody. I like to let the audience have it. This is your show. We just come here to shuck and jive for a little while. A lot of people are talking about Carrie Stevens, which was Eric Carr's girlfriend, like a widower in a sense. I think she was with him when he passed. She was also a Playboy playmate. Do you know her?
No.
She dated somebody that we spoke about earlier. I'm not sure if wood was a problem or not. That's not to be discussed right now. But anyway, I guess she got into a fight at the Canyon Club or something. Everyone's asking. Maybe we can call Stevie Rochelle and he would know. But I'm not familiar with this fight. I haven't been looking at the news today. Johnny, have you heard anything about Carrie Stevens fighting at the Canyon Club?
No, I don't know what that is.
Yeah. So if someone would like to shed some light on us, let us know. But and then also, question was, why were the Stephen Pearcy shows postponed from California? And that would be a decision for the venue that they needed to move them. So it had nothing to do with Stephen or any of us. The shows are now going to be in March. I think it just worked better for everybody involved. So we hope to see you all there. And I guess Carrie Stevens was assaulted. I don't know. I hope that's not the case. I've met her before. She seemed like a nice enough woman. I don't know her personally.
Everyone's crazy lately. They're really overly sensitive. They're looking to start arguments. They nitpick. They try to be funny, and they're not. And they're just it's just a weird time right now with everything. People,
Everybody has to be, yeah, yeah. It's a new time.
it's getting to the point to where I just accept going. I mean, I go out and I just know that like there's going to be like some kind of issue somewhere at some point, and while I'm outside.
Yeah, yeah. It's a shame. Enjoy your friends and your family and your loved ones and your bunkers or wherever you like to stay and watch Me TV or whatever it is.
And people
And
will tell you that. They'll tell you hug your friends, say hi to your family, you know, don't take things for granted. And I get all that. I'm at the stage now where I just accept something's horrible is going to happen, and if it doesn't, well, it's a good day. I maybe maybe I don't appreciate it as much as I should. I kind of accept. I expect like certain things from people, and maybe I expect too much, and then I get disappointed.
Mhm.
So I
Yeah,
think you got to lower your expectations. You got to go out and go. There's probably going to be 2 or 3 idiots that I'm going to have an issue with. So instead of getting upset about it and correcting them, I'll just smile and say okay, and just understand that maybe they're not doing it on purpose. That's why I get mad. I think they're doing it on purpose, but they're not doing it on purpose. They're just so the only thing you can do is say okay, and then just go to the next thing and go blah blah blah, and they'll be like, oh yeah, here it is. Like, thanks, and don't go because he didn't know. Just say thanks and just get that that's going to happen over and over again, and until whenever the 12th of never or whenever it happens.
these are words of wisdom
I don't know about
from
that, but
we know
I
words of
also still
wisdom.
have grease on the back of my neck. So I thought about it the other day, and I'm like, am I a bum? When someone calls something, you're a bum, Rock. You're a bum. Like, uh, am I a bum? I don't know. Am I a bum?
No. Well, it depends on what your definition of a bum is. I believe a bum is somebody, in most cases, who has no home. Mickey Goldmill, he would call people bums, but I think he misused it sometimes. But then
Well,
again, there's different definitions. But
yeah. No, I meant like in life. Like someone like that is more of a transient or a drifter. I'm a grifter. But I'm saying like a bum. Like, I've hung out with people where someone might consider them a bum.
right,
So when I'm driving around with you at 4 a.m. with my shirt off, with grease all over myself,
how did I
and
get
you're
it?
laughing at me, filming me, and I'm driving 20 miles an hour down the boulevard with my blinkers on, and I'm thinking, I'm hungry, and I'm thinking, am I a bum?
Mhm.
I know I got to start working out because it wasn't as tight up on top.
Yeah. Well, listen, yeah, I would not have stripped down like that.
Yeah, I couldn't take it. It was too hot. Plus, I didn't want to wreck the shirt, which I did get some grease on it. Anytime I wear something white, it's either compromised by barbecue sauce or chicken wings, or in this case, axle grease.
Johnny, I want to talk a little bit about since you bring up food. With this upcoming show in Ohio, for those of you who don't know about advancing a gig, if you're the tour manager, you talk with the event about security and about food and the thing, whatever, cater, rider, but it's all on a rider. It's not that big a deal. And then sometimes they provide food. The venue that we are playing in Ohio, this is a festival, a very big festival, by the way. They're expecting, tens of twenties of thirties of thousands of people. But they wanted our food order 2 weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
and it's very bizarre. And they sent us a menu, and we had to pick. And I sent it to Steven, who just wrote back, "LOL," like, you got to be kidding me. 2
Yeah,
weeks
right.
order. He doesn't know what he's going to eat, in 5 minutes. He's
Yeah.
a spontaneous man. We've
Uh-huh.
seen him in the airport. He has a little of this, and then he has a little of that, and
Uh.
sometimes he scans it, and sometimes he doesn't. But he,
Uh.
he, yeah, he. So anyway, so then I went to his better half. He would agree, Christy, and then she provided me with their food order, and then the band, everyone shared, and management, tour management, we shared the what we're going to have. Johnny and I were very crafty. We shared our order to get more and to get a little variety of Ohio's finest food. So I can tell you it's the first time in my life. I mean, I never know what the hell's going on or what I'm doing or where I'm going, but I did know. We said it 2 weeks ago. Well, we do know what we're going to eat next Friday. That one thing we know, as long as the plane lands.
Yeah, well, someone just said they noticed acne on my nose. See, it's like, here, how about I noticed this? How about shut up?
Yeah,
I mean,
some of these comments are funny.
I gotta be back here. Maybe we should do it like this. We should do these interviews like this. How's that better?
Why is that? I don't understand. What?
Because it said I have acne on my nose.
Somebody said you have. Oh, well, that's an asshole.
Well, but my point is, it's everywhere. I can't even have a normal conversation with someone anymore.
Johnny,
there's something wrong with these people.
Now you look like the Elephant Man. You're human, Johnny. You're a human. You're not an animal. Johnny, I'm going to handle this. Chris is now in timeout. Okay.
I think I should do all my interviews as the Invisible Man.
Well, the Invisible Man is that would be good. Yeah.
Yeah. Bring me my brandy.
Yeah.
My tire.
He's like Carrot Top. Prop.
The better. Damn, I know.
Well, I took care of the problem.
Can only use so much salicylic acid. Okay.
Do you really have something on your nose?
I'm still going through puberty. It's exhausting. I just, it's not even like.
Martha loves your face. Thank you, Martha. Well, I'll thank you for it, Johnny. You probably hate my face, but that's okay. I don't blame you.
With all that Botox I got going on.
Someone in the comments on the video has accused me of using Botox.
Yeah. How about here's for that guy. How about shut up? How about if he wants to use Botox, he can. Right. Why don't you mind your own business?
That's between me and my beautician. Yeah.
Now I understand why Todd Kearns didn't wave back. Yeah.
Do you think he uses Botox?
No, I think I just need to be more grateful. I got to start reading other band members' posts because they always say that. And then they always follow up with, have a great day. I never say that. I never tell anybody.
Have a great day. It's a cop out.
I just never tell anybody what to do because, first of all, it's none of my business. And if you're telling someone to do something, even if it's have a great day, you're still implying that you're somehow better and you're teaching them and how to have a great. It's like, oh, have a great day. I never would have thought of that. Oh, why so grumpy? Why so mad? Well, maybe it's because of all you idiots. You're aggravating me. And if it was a normal day and everything was great, it'd probably be like, what a great day we're having. Everyone's like, fine today, and not, this waiter, this and this stupid shit, that, and, and it's just these people, man. People are the worst kind of people.
100%. Johnny, there's two things that you've done in the last few months that make me laugh. Even when I'm just walking around, I think of them and laugh. One was when we were in Summerfest. I think that's in Milwaukee, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
We were in a car, and one of the band members found somebody who's a friend who was nice enough to drive us back to our hotel because we were screwed. We never got out of there. We were in the parking lot for hours in this car, and there was this guy who was like playing with himself, so to speak. This is not a homeless person. This is like a guy with his friends. And you put on this sort of Peter Sellers voice, and I could not have laughed more at that one. And then last night, and you'll see some of that in the upcoming tour diary. And then last night, while we were playing our Manly Madonna game, the guy you challenged the guy next to us. You had a competition. This guy, yeah, he was playing as well. We did beat him, but Johnny's imitations of the guy.
It's not my fault. These people, they think they're kings among men. Okay, walking around without socks on, sandals, smoking cigars. I know cigars are a thing, and I don't know how you can enjoy a cigar. I had a cigar once, and I almost thought I was going to pass out.
Me too.
And then they're like, "You're not supposed to inhale it." I'm like, "I didn't." And then they kept this thing. It's like they lick it, and then it's big, and it's always like a little guy, and he's always smoking it. And they get this look at, and they roll it around, and then they take out their $50 cutter. And they got this look on their face like they're really, they're doing something really expensive. And then they just look over at you, and then they light it. And then it's like, who stands next to someone smoking a cigar going, that smells great. It's worse than patchouli oil. Mm-hmm. It's cigars, but it's a status thing. It's like a baller. Like, I'm in Vegas, I'm a baller, and then they go back to Cincinnati. So I just, I'm just tired of the cigars and being in proximity of people that don't know about personal space. You shouldn't be standing. If I could hit you with my elbow, this applies to the stage too. You should move over a little bit. I don't come up on you, roll up on you, and get too close and then talk about what you're doing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Camel toe.
I think you make a very good point.
Cigars
are disgusting, and they do cause lip cancers. The doctor probably could shed more on that. And
it's not even the cigar. It's the attitude that it encompasses. It's just some kind of like this vibe that they put out. I've got a cigar.
Yeah, it's usually an asshole vibe.
Really is.
Well, folks, we're going to get ready to get our things together and
we got to get going. I got to get going.
And we went a little. We were going to only do an hour to 90. We're a little over 90 now. So if anyone would like to super chat, though, now is your chance. Because
and thank you for that, everybody, because it really does help moment to moment. And it's not that I'm not grateful. I'm just tired of people virtue signaling their gratefulness to everyone when they're doing it as a ploy. So they will look like a kind, genuine soul when in reality, their tongue is silver and they have hoofs.
Yes. And our ploy is that food in the airport is very expensive. And, and comedy doesn't grow on trees.
Seems free.
We have to go out and have these experiences in order to share with you. So it's always appreciated. Feel free. And let's see here.
Great.
I'm trying to wrap it up, but
true. We're providing a service.
This is 100% a service, and we thank everybody. And I think last week's audience was the highest grossing show of this run, and again, we're going to donate a portion of that to the Toys for Tots charity, which you guys will be seeing the progress of that very soon as we go toy shopping. We're halfway to Christmas, believe it or not. Hey, K-Bear, thank you so much. That's I don't remember where we're going, Johnny. The airports. Do you? I think we're going to Detroit again. Is that the one we hate?
We hate all the airports. I want to say yes. Maybe I'd have to look. I don't know, but I know we're going to end up in Ohio, and then we're going to spend a day there, and then get ready, and then we're going to play the next day. Get up early and get back on a plane. So it's a lot of traveling, and now with everything that's going on, and people are still catching colds, and It's
Well, hold on. Let me thank these people first, Johnny.
oh, that's very nice of the people. Yeah, Brian Kurt, he's from Canada.
Well, we're going to get to him too. But the K Bear, we thank Joe Soldezo. I hope I said that right. He says he loves us. Thank you. We love you. And or at least I do. Johnny, I can't speak for it. He's very controversial. Michael Perez, thank you so much. And he appreciates our service. Thank you. We're happy to provide the service.
Yeah, and I'm getting those CDs out. If everybody, I know Michael and a few other people are waiting for their CDs, but kind of got slammed this week. So we're going to send them out when I get back next week. And
Brian as well. This is he's giving us $15 Canadian, which I think we come out on top with that. And thank you so much. We'll order something Canadian, poutine or ketchup chips, maybe something like that. But so thank you guys because it does help. It's appreciated. You guys are great. There's no show without you guys. I don't think I could do this every week without it. Steve MP, thank you so much because we're going to eat, but we usually have layovers when we travel, and Johnny and I go to eat. Steven does too. Steven and Christy, they don't usually like to be seen with us. I understand. They like different things with where they go eat. And we all spend.
Who doesn't like a nice Mediterranean dish before you get on an airplane?
He had one, right?
Yeah, said it was fantastic. And then we're over there looking at it. We're like, I don't know, you gotta get on this airplane. This stuff looks a little farty.
Mm-hmm. He also had the Juan Crucier chili in Detroit. Remember that?
He was trying to show it to you, pouring it on your lap.
If
you got all uppity. Don't put that on me. Don't put that on me.
If you guys are bored, you go watch me and Johnny Stuck at the Airport, and you will see, and Steven's in that one as well. You'll see what it's like. But anyway, we get bored and we try to go to restaurants and eat, and it's a little expensive at times. But we do try to sample the foods of the world: Philly cheesesteaks in Philly and Chicago hot dogs if you can find them. But some airports are better than others, and I will say, and I am wrapping this up, the Minneapolis airport is outstanding. It's a giant airport. It's a giant airport. You have to ride by cart if you're with a multi-platinum celebrity like Stephen Pearcy. Johnny does not like people looking at him while he is on the cart.
Well, I don't mind it. I just noticed that they were looking at me, and they just had that look on their face of disgust. They're just looking at me like this.
Yeah.
And I had to say something to them like, why don't you mind your own business? Or, there's a reason we're doing this. It's far. We have all our stuff. This guy's like a bionic man. Gotta can't just walk there.
You will see all of this in the upcoming tour diary. But Minneapolis Airport has a lot of contactless restaurants. You actually go into a full restaurant. There's iPads on the table. The iPad actually doesn't even need to be there because it's just a QR code on it. You scan it on your phone. You don't have to see a waiter. Johnny, this place was perfect for you and I. No one comes over and says, how's your day? Who cares? We don't want to have that talk with you.
Well, that's because they're catching on. It's like people like, oh, you're grumpy or you're something. No, it's just that, after a while you figure things out. And now they're starting to do that. They're like, we can't hire these idiots and these people are arguing and then let's just give them robots. So I'm looking forward to is that socialism? I don't know.
Maybe. I'm for it though. Will we live stream from an airport again? It's possible. Possible. Yeah. That time we were stuck, and we wanted to do something. That was when somebody else handled the flights. I was not involved. I believe there was a full moon when the flights were booked. There was a full moon last night. Full moon last night, actually, too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of that going on. I don't know if that really has anything to do with anything, but I think maybe people see that and then it kind of like affects their mood, but because they think they're thinking that, the only person I've ever seen a moon effect used to book our flights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we saw after midnight. Holy shit. Yeah. It was, very hard to book flights with pause.
I wanted an aisle seat. You're getting a middle seat.
Jason, thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed the tour diary. All this stuff we're talking about is in there. It's really fun. Actually, one of the most fun episodes is M3, which is Johnny's first show. But me and Johnny go to the M3 after party, and we decide to just blend in and talk to random people, and it's ridiculous. And so you'll see all that. And anyway, but this airport, yeah, there's no more talking to people. They bring you your food, and that's it. And anything you want, you do through this computer, as Johnny said. And it's great.
There's another store where you just you go in and you put your credit card in, and they scan it, and you just walk in.
Yeah.
You take whatever you want, and then you walk out, and they charge your card. There's a bunch of cameras in the ceiling. They track you. They track what you're getting. They put it to your card. So it's no employees. And people were very confused with that, but we sat there and watched it for hours. It was great.
We could not have enjoyed it more. That was when with you was my second time seeing it. You enter stores. They have turnstiles. You tap your card, then it opens. You can go in. There's no employees, although they do have some security outside, which I don't know why they're not just ringing up the sales. There are scanners and cameras all along the ceiling. You just take what you want and you leave. And you literally could, if you're late for a flight or whatever it is, and you need to get a drink and go, or get a sandwich,
run in and run out.
You run in and run out. There's no time spent, except if there's a person in your way. You are in and out, and it's great. It's a great idea. Johnny and I did stay and watch, and then Johnny did shout at people as they left, "Hey, where are you going with that? Aren't you going to pay?" Because most people don't know how the system works. It's really kind of weird.
They think they're stealing, but they're really not. They're like, I didn't even pay for this. They walk out. Or some people just stood in the front and was like this. They didn't understand it. And then the person had to tell them how to do it. And I think it's a great idea. I think that should be done when you go to the doctor. They should do that. You should just be able to go in and do your own surgery.
Yeah, well, check your own prostate, whatever it is, depends on your level of difficulty. But it's a great concept, and I think it probably cuts down on theft. And here's the other thing: you can't get riffraff can't come in if they don't have a credit card. They're not coming in.
That's right. That's another good part about that. You want to play? How about being a citizen? You gotta have good credit to play this game.
Yeah, I think Ace Frehley said that in his song "Insane." But anyway, so it's great that, and that I can't remember what city that's in. That might have been Chicago. Chicago Airport sucks otherwise, but maybe not. No, probably not. Maybe
I don't remember either. Yeah.
We see the same ones a lot. But anyway, thank you guys for the support. It will help us to listen. Joe, just so you remember, do you remember, guys, remember Miguel? Miguel is my oldest friend from New York City. He's been on the show a bunch of times. He travels all around the world. He and I did these hot sauce tastings, and they will be back. We have some coming up. I spoke to him the other day, and we'll do that. We'll taste some hot sauce. Johnny will taste some hot sauce too. Why not? And so anyway, all those things that you love are coming back, and new things as well. With all the talk of full moons, is that a picture of Dracula behind you? Well, those are postage stamps. They are framed postage stamps. I have a filter on so you can't see, but right there is the mummy, Boris Karloff as the mummy. That is Dracula, Bela Lugosi. Then you have Frankenstein, also Boris Karloff. And all the way on the end, you have the Phantom of the Opera. Notice there is no Wolfman. No Wolfman here. I don't think I have any. Wolfman's not my favorite, and he's terrible at booking flights. So anyway, thank you guys. I hope to see you all very soon. And Johnny, any last words?
Yeah, no, thanks. And I got to get going because I got to get this thing together over here so we can go do this show.
Yeah, good luck with your wood. And thank you again all for watching and all supporting the channel. Please tune in this Friday. I'll try to be in the live chat. Nasty Suicide of Hannah Rocks. I can tell you it's a great interview and interesting guy, and not somebody that you've heard from on a million other shitty podcasts. Thank you all, and have a great night.